Hi, I'm David Sibley, and in this video I'm going to show you how I draw a bald eagle. The bald eagle is a really majestic bird with a massive body, broad wings, and a big hooked bill and talons. So we'll begin, like other birds, with an oval for the body, in this case a relatively large oval, tilted at about 45 degrees. For the head, we'll add a small circle sort of rolling off the top of the oval, and large birds like eagles have relatively small heads compared to their body. That's true of birds in general. Small species have relatively large heads, and larger birds have smaller heads compared to their body. The wings of this eagle take up most of the side of the body. They're big wings folded up against the side. So draw a line sort of paralleling the lower edge of the body and curving up a little bit, just projecting a little bit out the back of the oval. For the tail, just draw a small rectangle angling down under the wingtips. For the bill, draw very lightly, just some guidelines, a straight line angled slightly down coming out of the middle of the head to the right, and another line from the top of the head coming down slightly towards that first line, and connect them with a vertical line to make a sort of rectangular shape. Then draw lightly a line coming straight up from the right edge of the body oval, and the eye will be placed just to the left of that line and just below the top of the bill. Now we can fill in the details of the bill. The bill is almost rectangular, straight upper edge, straight lower edge, and a rounded curve to a big hook at the tip. Smoothing in some details of the body, starting with the chin, smooth that line straight down. Can have a little bit of bulge on the chest, and then a little bit of shagginess, loose feathers down on the belly. And on the upper side, the feathers start about a third of the way between the eye and the tip of the bill, angling up very slightly to the top of the head and then curving down the back, a little bit shaggy on the back of the head. Sharp curve into the back. The back is quite straight all the way back, and extend that straight line just a little bit beyond where your oval is, closer to the wingtip. Now we'll add some details around the eye. A short line across the top of the eye gives the eagle a serious look, and then that line angles up to the base of the bill at the top. Another line comes down below the eye, curves back to a point, and then forward to the base of the bill. About halfway between the eye and the bill tip is the nostril, a short diagonal mark there, and you can fill in the dark pupil in the center of the eye. Put that slightly forward of the center of the eye if you want the eagle to look like it's looking ahead. And indicate the edge of the white head with a line of shaggy feathers across the neck. Add some detail around the wing. Darken that lower edge of the wing, curving around, paralleling the body, and then the edge of the back feathers above. Come back to the wing tip and bring that line forward. That indicates the tips of the big secondary flight feathers. And then rows of wing coverts, getting smaller going forward. The secondaries are long, straight feathers, and the first row of coverts, also straight. The next row of coverts overlaps in the other direction, and all the successive coverts also. Now, outlining the actual wingtip, the longest feathers, these are long, straight feathers stacked on top of each other, and then you see the tips. Can suggest a few feathers in the tail. The eagle is balanced over its feet, so imagine where the balance point would be. Bring the big, thick legs, short but thick legs, down to that point. One toe behind and 3 toes in front. They're big, thick toes with long curved talons. We'll add a rock for the eagle to stand on, give that a little shading. add some shading on the underside of the body. On bald eagle, the body is entirely dark and the head and tail are white on an adult. So we'll make the body dark up to the white head. And a little bit of dark on the back. And I'll leave the rest of that for you to color. The wings are also dark. And finally, just a little bit of shading around the head, long shaggy feathers on the back of the head, and then a shadow under the chin and the throat. And there is a bald eagle. Now you can try some different variations, add color, have fun, and share your creations.